This is an interesting section where we are planning to discuss on the total cost of ownership of hosting your applications on cloud versus on-premise. We will discuss on various factors and try to find out how much is the total cost of ownership over 3 or 5 years, and then let's compare between on-premise and cloud to find out the savings between them. We will consider some of the known factors in this comparison, and there might be some additional factors as well which may be add-ons on top of these numbers. So let's start with a comparison for a better understanding. The first factor is the upfront hardware cost or the capital expenditure cost. This hardware may include multiple components such as servers, racks, storage disk, firewall, networking components, cables, wires and switches, and the list goes on. These components needs to be purchased by the company if they are planning to host it on premise. For comparison, let's keep it as 100k US dollars, which is an average price. In most of the instances, this price will most probably go up as well. In contrary, it will be zero for cloud hosting since all the components will be taken care by cloud providers and we need to subscribe to their services. So there is no upfront capital expenses involved in case of cloud hosting. So let's keep it as zero. With that, let's move on to the recurring cost or operating expenditures which needs to be paid on a monthly basis. The first comparison factor is power consumption or electricity cost per month. For our math, we assume that the hardware requires 6 kilowatt power running for 24 hours and 30 days in a month. Also, cooling charges are arrived on the basis of 50% on the power consumption. It is just an assumption. So it is totaling to 210 USD per month. Here again, cloud charges are zero since it will be handled by the cloud provider themselves. Then we have something like maintenance cost that includes the salary of housekeeping personnel to sweep and clean the hardwares and real estate, security guards to protect the hardwares, and some additional miscellaneous charges for managing the data center. It roughly amounts to 1000 USD per month. Then we need to consider backup of the data either through disk backup or tape backup. It again consumes cost and it will be approximately 500 USD per month since the number of disks or tapes will increase over the time as the data grows. And then management services like system admins or infrastructure engineers to manage the complete hardware components from the technical and security point of view is required. Here again, I consider two resources to manage the infra 24/7 with two shifts of 12 hours each. It accounts for roughly 6000 USD per month, which is 3000 USD per resource. So all the items we listed are mainly focusing on on-premise hosting since all these items will be taken care by cloud providers such as AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud Platform by themselves, and we will pay only a monthly fee as a whole package. The ownership of these activities also lies with the cloud providers. So for the discussed size of infrastructure setup, cloud providers may charge approximately 8000 USD per month as a flat fee. Let's not get into the tax computations and makes it more complicated. Our objective here is to find out the total cost of ownership and find out which one is cheaper and secure and the best choice. So for now, we have brought down all the possible factors and added an approximate cost for each factor as well. Now, let's get into the interesting part, which is the analysis of the base data. Let's start off with the on-premise calculation. Upfront hardware cost is a one-time investment, so let's calculate it only once. So it will be 100,000 USD plus 36 into, which is 36 months in a year into summation of all the remaining recurring cost and the on-premise installation. So it will be 377,560 USD for a total of 3 years. Like the same way, let's calculate for cloud hosting as well. As there is no one-time cost, let's keep it as zero. We have only a recurring subscription charges which is approximately 8000 USD per month. So for 36 months or 3 years, it will be 36 into 8000 USD, which is equivalent to 288,000 USD in total. So now let's do the same math for 5 years or 60 months. So for on-premise, it will be 562,600 USD, and for cloud it will be 480,000 USD in total. Now then, we have got some numbers to compare, analyze and find out which option is best and which one will provide better cost savings. Over 3 years, when you compare between the overall numbers for on-premise and cloud, there will be a cost saving of 24% and there will be a cost saving of 15% when you compare the same for 5 years. So irrespective of short term or long term, cloud hosting will have a clear upper hand in comparison with on-premise hosting. Also, the ownership of hosting, data security and availability, real estate challenges, resource management challenges have its own set of risks in on-premise, but it will be zero in case of cloud as well. So, cloud hosting is the clear winner, and that is why the buzz for cloud hosting is increasing every day.